Hello, friends, and welcome back to Wanderlust Gaming. Today I wanted to talk about the Fantastic Four movie. I watched it yesterday. Uh, I guess the best word to describe this movie was very underwhelming. Although I do believe it it did have its moments, and there are many things I liked about the movie. I'll start off by with the positive things. I really think aesthetically speaking they did a great job, from the customs to the design of everything. It was really nice to see. Special effects were like okay. I think they could have been better, especially for 2025, because the flame guy, he looks much better in the in the movie that released in the early 2000s, to be honest with you guys. um, Silver Surfer 2 looked okay, I guess. Galactus looked pretty good, actually. I would say, like, I think the highlight was probably Galactus, the way he moved and everything, and his custom. So yeah, aesthetically speaking, the movie was very well done. But I did think it was a little bit like slow, a little bit like not too much action going on, especially Fantastic Four movies. Like I said, the early 2000 movie was did a pretty good job in displaying the powers of the superheroes, right? So I think this movie like lacked that. It lacked maybe like more action, and there were like some parts that were a little bit cringy too. Uh, Obviously, I'm not gonna spoil which parts those were, but it was a little bit like uh, underwhelming in general. I thought this was Pedro Pascal's like weakest role ever, because he's always like a not like a giga chad, but he's always like a macho man, like strong. But this in this movie, he's like taking like a step back, and I think the way he portray Doctor Richards or whatever, the main character, it's not that it's bad, but it's like pretty. He's like taking a step back and like letting the woman do all the big things. What else? Yeah, just in general, I think the action scenes were very lacking. The story, I think the story could have been better. They did okay, um, but it just seems like there was like a lot of talking and like a lot of like, oh, this and that, and like it's like you watch a hero movie and you want to see action, right? So I think the story was like, I think the story could have been better. The villain, I think this is my main problem. I think the villain could have been used like in a much better way. Because spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, he only like really shows up towards the end of the movie. So it's like the whole movie they're hyping up Galactus and this and that, and it would have been nice to see him do more destruction. But he shows up at towards the end of the movie, and they set up like a trap, and it's like it's super cringy. It doesn't go the way they want, and then like towards the end they finally get him. But yeah, I just think the story, I mean, if they leave the aesthetics the same way, but do a different story where it's like more action, more intense, and like it really shows like how the Fantastic Four really are able to overcome like very difficult situation. I think that would have been much better. But yeah, visually it looked pretty good. The aesthetics were nice. The graphics were pretty decent for what it was. But overall, it just leaves you like very with a very underwhelming expectation of the movie, because you want to see action scenes, you want to see like all this stuff that Galactus. I mean, I think that was probably the worst, because they actually brought Galactus into the movie, and I think he was just pretty underwhelming as well. His performance, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, come on, you have Galactus here, like this giant thing, and like just show him like destroy everything. I think that would have been much better. But instead, he shows up and he goes up to like, to do something. I don't want to spoil what it does, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I don't think I would like. I'm excited to like watch it again. And there's a post credit scene where the Doctor Doom shows up, and so yeah, I mean, hopefully the movie, if they do like a second part, it gets better with Doctor Doom. So that's the video for today, guys. Do I recommend it? Go watch it, but with like very low expectations, or just wait for the movie to come out on Disney Plus or whatever. That's it, guys, for today. Have a good day. Bye bye.